Before showing you an interesting table about the seventh day of Pesach, we could find it in one sentence, but we have the best meeting of Ashvi'i, the seventh of a festival of 7 days, which is Passover, Shel Pesach or Passover. Very interesting, significant table. You can see it all appears in one chapter, 23, and only from the verses 13:3 to 43. 10 verses, unbelievable. So the first thing we have to understand, what is this festival? So this is what we find in Chabad, which says the seventh day of Passover marks the day when many miracles were performed for our forefathers at the Red Sea. The Torah in Exodus 12:15 states, and the seventh day shall be declared a holy day for you. No work shall be done on that day. The essence of the celebration of this day is the song that Moses and Israel were divinely inspired to sing on this day, a song that merited being included in the Torah, a song to which God and his heavenly consorts listen. So this was a song, it's really the first verse, as Yashir Moshe Bnei Israel, then Moses and the children of Israel sang, and it was after splitting of the sea. So let us see very interesting tables. I said the table don't contain many verses, but what makes it interesting is the location. It is only 20, as we say, only in one chapter, 23 and 10 verses. Best meeting of the seventh day of Pesach, which is part of the 7 days of Pesach. So what we have here, which is important, that perhaps one can see this was the most important thing which brought to the splitting of the sea, is written that Jews were in a very, very difficult situation. The sea from one side, the deserts around, and the Egyptian on the back chasing them. So, what could they do? Praying. But in fact, praying was not the answer. Moses told them, in the name of God, go into the sea. Yeah, go into the sea. And our rabbis tell us, the Torah says that the Jewish people, children of Israel, went into the sea. Up till the water came already on their throats, up till their throats, And then they shouted, then the sea split, and they were saved. So important teaching our rabbis tell us, we see that what really saved the Jews, not praying, belief, faith in God. Unbelievable. So you have here, I think it's a minimal skip of the Hebrew word ha'emunah. The faith, the belief, unbelievable. This is the main essence of this day of Israel. You can hear the Emunah of Israel, which really brought this splitting of the sea, teaching us how important is devotion to God. Yeah, sacrificing oneself even for this. So this is the most important, really. In fact, in the verse before the Song of the Sea is written, "Vayaminu b'Shem u'Moshe Abdo." When Jews believed, Aminu, had the Emunah in God and Moses as his servant, then the saying is so important teaching. Now, what is really coming out from this lesson, that by faith in God, our rabbis tell us in the merit of faith, belief in God, Jews came out of Egypt. In the merit of Emunah, of faith, Jews will be saved in future, in our time. And what will be if we have the Emunah? We have Messiah. Mashiach, amazing. You have the Messiah, and within it you have Ashvi'i, the seventh. Why the seventh? To remind us the seventh day of Passover. And Kabbalistically, it is known that the seventh represents the kingdom, the sphere of the kingdom, Malchut, which is the most important one to do with Shabbos, holiness and sanctity. So as I said, very important day tomorrow, which is called the seventh day of Passover, which really marks the day when many miracles were performed to our forefathers. And then they sang the famous song on the sea, and after splitting of the Red Sea. So, hoping that now also Jews will have the faith in God requires also to keep the Torah and the mitzvot. It's most important. This is really the condition for Messiah. So let us hope that this day now, the seventh day, which is known to be very, very special day, in Kabbalah, it is known that many Jews study Torah and special things all over this night, because this night, very, very significant one, very, very important one. So, this is what I want to wish you, that we'll have really very important enlightened festival, and hoping really that in the merit of faith, keeping the Torah and mitzvot, you'll have Messiah coming and bring happiness and joy to Israel and to the whole world.